We're off to talk to Russell Brown, head honcho at publicaddress.net, and also the Media 7 show on TVNZ7, the Hard News blog, of course. Russell Brown, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Let's first up talk about the debt deal that has finally been reached and voted on in the States. Averted calamity, one might say.
By hours, yeah. Although, I mean, I think everyone suspected and hoped that it would be passed just in time. It's still a ridiculous piece of theatre. And the deal itself really doesn't actually do anything much to solve America's fiscal problems. Most of the cuts are far away in the future. You know, they're talking about cutting money over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And they still haven't really faced up to the problem, which is endemic at the federal and state level in the US, is that they have spent years cutting taxes and not cutting spending.
Well, that's right, and huge spending on the military and overseas endeavours.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, the USA does not have the tax base, the revenue base, to be the kind of country that they like to believe they are. More especially that the Republican right believes it is. This is the crazy thing, is that they don't seem to make a connection between their aspirations for the USA, everything from its projection of military force to their own support from the federal government, and that federal government's revenue. And like I said, you've seen the same thing happen at state level as well. California has been in trouble ever since property taxes were gutted. Yeah.
And now, doesn't this whole thing just delay the inevitable, the inevitable pain that is going to happen to the American economy, the inevitable Great Depression?
Yes. Yeah. No. Well, I don't know whether there'll be a Great Depression. We hope not. But yeah, the inevitable pain, and it's interesting. People are saying, has this damaged Obama? Yeah, probably more so with his support on the left. But you do have to feel sorry for the guy. I really do. There's this sort of belief there that presidents should, kick down doors and get what they want.
Yeah.
But he actually could not get that because he did not have the votes in the House of Representatives. The guy's 50 today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a birthday present.
Today, US time, yeah. He's noticeably grayed since he's been in there.
Oh, yeah.
But he is still talking about tax increases, which they really have to face up to. The biggest constituent of US sovereign debt in the past 10 years has been the Bush tax cuts.
Yeah. And tax cuts to the richest.
Yes, tax cuts for the very richest, yes. And they really actually have to face up to that. I think the other problem is, and we're in danger of that sometimes in New Zealand, I think, is that tax cuts are more palatable, more sellable if you give them to the less well-off, but you end up with a lot of people not paying tax. That's the end game there. And that's a big problem in the US, is that there are a lot of people who effectively do not pay any net tax.
Hey, Russell, before we jump on to the next topic, we've got a deteriorating line there, so I'll just quickly call you back.
Yeah, no worries. Okay.
So very shortly we're going to talk rugby. But I'll just call him back, because as you said, it wasn't a very nice line at all, was it? We don't want to continue with that for another few minutes, do we? Hopefully this line will be slightly better.
Way better.
That's way better. Oh, you could hear the crackle too, could you?
I can hear the crackle too.
Oh, good, all right. That's nice and clear.
Thought it might be rude.
So, let's talk rugby.
Yeah.
Obviously, World Cup, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And the UMR poll out this week.
Yep.
Fewer than 4 in 10 people looking forward to the Rugby World Cup.
Yes, I'm certainly one of the pessimists.
Yes, yeah, I know, as are a lot of my bloody inner-city suburb Liberal friends.
Yeah.
I must admit, I'm not exactly jumping out of my skin about it, but, I suspect once it starts, there will be so much going on that people will get reasonably excited about it. I have been kind of frustrated this year of people deciding that they're going to hate it before it happens. I'm only going to one game as things stand, and that's Samoa versus Fiji at Eden Park, which I think will be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, I do like a good carnival, and no doubt I'll get caught up in the hype of it.
Yeah.
You know?
There'll be lots of people visiting the country, and that's always fun.
Yeah.
I think, there are some things that have not been particularly well handled. The the Ngāti Whātua waka thing down at the bottom of town, that's basically every part of this event that the government has touched has turned into a shambles. And I know up until relatively recently there were people doing things, had projects planned and funded for the World Cup time down at the bottom of town and didn't have a location because the Auckland Council didn't know what was going on because the government was handling it.
Yeah.
And it's actually classic Murray McCulley. He runs off with the ball, to use a metaphor, and no one knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite destructive.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been handled particularly well at that level. But I think it'll be fun. I've actually been discussing this online just this morning, and there's no doubt that rugby doesn't have the major and central place in the culture that it used to have, and there are a variety of reasons. We've become, we have a more variegated culture now, but also I think ever since rugby went pay TV only, suddenly you end up with fewer people watching, fewer people feeling a stake in it. And I think it's a danger for the sport.
Same with cricket as well. I used to be a massive cricket watcher.
Yeah.
Would watch every game, but now that it's on pay TV, no.
Exactly. Well, and you look at the crowds for one-day cricket in particular as well. Eden Park used to sell out relatively recently. In the 90s, when it was on free-to-air TV, the game had a presence that meant it would sell out, and it doesn't do that anymore.
Well, it's got to say that though, certain parts of Auckland are definitely looking pretty and prettier.
It's funny.
That's quite nice.
Actually, you can see it all along the route from the CBD to Eden Park, which is going to be where the walking bus goes. It's all being tarted up. Footpath on one side, the dirty old overbridge on K Road. Yeah. I mean, whoever thought that would be pretty?
Although I tell you what, the Saturday roadworks, when you're tearing around trying to organise a party, certainly weren't very helpful.
No,
that's for sure, all over the place. Finally, let's talk fake pot and the government banning any chronic-like substances.
Yeah, it frustrates me with all these legal highs that we never seem to have got to the point where we had a firm and well-policed R18 age limit and we weren't selling them in suburban dairies. We seem to go from open slather, which I don't think was a good idea. I don't think it was a good idea to have these things sold in dairies, to everything's banned. Yeah. And there's not a lot in between. It's just, obviously, as someone pointed out to me, Peter Dunn needs to be noticed as many days between now and the election as he can, and he was able to tick that box this week. And I suspect there's a bit of that in it, frankly, because he's completely reversed his position.
Does the move, though, against these synthetic substances affect the lobby to decriminalise marijuana?
It's interesting that you're now even getting guys like Tom Claunch from the Capri Centre, the drug treatment centre, saying, this stuff seems worse than ordinary pot. So maybe we'll get to that point because we really need to. It's sort of a bizarre situation. Although I was thinking that I should actually go to a shop and buy some synthetic pot.
I don't know if you
make it illegal.
You don't want to subject yourself to that.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I may as well. Part of the culture that's going to be gone soon. So.
You've got to experience it once at least. Finally, you're looking forward to the Auckland Great Blend tomorrow evening in Auckland?
Yes. We do these events via public address, and got tomorrow's one at the Town Hall. Really looking forward to it. It's a full house. We've got the Hallertau beer on tap, which is very exciting.
Good move.
And Emma Hart, David Hayward, and some really interesting sound art stuff from Christchurch based around the earthquake. Joe Bazinska, who is Stanley Black 5, who's one of the artists, we said to her, what do you need technically? And she said, well, a PA system. Could it have lots of bass, please? And the reason that's relevant is that her performance is based on field recordings in the hours after the February 22nd earthquake, including the sound of actual earthquake.
Oh, great.
So people will get to hear earthquakes through the big bass bins.
Auckland will experience something bigger than what the 2.3 that they had.
Indeed, it probably will be, actually.
Hey, Russell, we'll look forward to seeing you there.
Righto.
All right, see you. That's Russell Brown at pubgadress.net, Media 7 Show TVNZ.